Hello YouTube, I'm the Foam Witch, and in this video I'm going to show you how I made my reverse bear trap crown for my Amanda's Rebirth costume from Dead by Daylight. So smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's do this. To make this, I used some pieces from my previous reverse bear trap template, and I started by making the jaw plate. This crown only has one. Using the top pointed jaw piece, the middle section to stick the jaw pieces to, and the lower jaw piece. The back line of the pointed jaw piece gets cut with an outward bevel angle. On my original reverse bear trap video, making this part seems to be the bit that caused the most confusion, so hopefully I can explain how to make it properly here. Starting by sticking the top jaw piece to this middle back plate, you have to stick the back plate on, following the natural curve of the pointed piece. The edges of the pointed piece then get curved down to meet the 2 points on either end of the back piece. That should look something like this. You then do exactly the same with that straight curved lower jaw piece. However, the long straight jaw piece might need trimming at either side to make sure it fits properly. This is how it should look once both the edges have been stuck to that middle point. Then, taking this part of the template to give the dividing pieces, you cut this out 6 times. These then get stuck in, aligning with the points of the top jaw piece. These will likely be a little bit too long and overhang, so you just need to trim these back with the craft knife. To make the headband, I used a strip of 5mm foam. There is a piece on the template to show the width, however, you are going to have to cut this to whatever size you need it. Time to test the fit, and it was perfect. Next up was this piece, and this got cut out 3 times to stick on the front. This will also be used for the back later on. There is a cog on either side of this crown, so this part was cut out twice of 5mm foam. I then cut out 2 small pieces of 20mm foam dowels, and these were just used as kind of like attachments to extend the cogs out so they stuck out. These then got stuck on either side of the crown. I then took a piece of 15mm foam dowel and I stuck this on the back in the middle. This nail was then 3D printed. On top of the 15mm foam dowel, I stuck another piece of 10 and then I stuck the nail into that, cutting out this piece that then gets stuck to the bottom. I think this piece is used later on as well. These nut caps got 3D printed and I stuck one on each cog just to add a bit more detail. Looking at reference photos that I took from the game, I then went on to make these little boxes that are at the back. These measured 10 cm in height and 6 cm in width, cutting out some strips 2 cm wide that then got stuck around the edge. These then got stuck on at the back either side of that pipe thing. A hole then got drilled into the side of the box on the left if you're looking at it at the back, and this was just to allow for a piece of foam dowel to be threaded through. The piece this shape then got cut out and I used the Dremel to kind of make the edges look all jagged. It then got stuck on in this area, which is behind the cog on the right. I also stuck on another piece of foam dowel in the gap. This shape then got cut out, and again I did use the Dremel to jagged up all the edges. This then gets stuck on top of the box on the left hand side, although I forgot to film this, so sorry. Some more foam dowel was added for detail, with a kind of curved piece added on top of that. This shape then gets cut out and gets stuck behind the cog on the right hand side. This is the bit that the spring is going to get stuck to later on. This detail gets cut out of 10mm foam and stuck behind the cog on the left hand side. I also added another piece of foam dowel, yes I used a lot on this project, and also stuck on that kind of bendy piece, again just to add more detail. Some more of the little key pieces and that curved piece were cut out, again more detail. Some more of the little spiked pieces, like I mentioned before, were cut out and stuck at the bottom of each of the boxes. Once those had all been stuck on, all of the foam details had been finished. Then I went on to add the rest of the details that I had 3D printed. starting with these bolts and nut caps that got added to the jaw piece at the front. Holes were drilled into the foam, these were then just slotted through and tightened at the top. To make this spring, I twisted some 3D filament around a pen and heated it up with a heat gun. Once it cooled down, it stayed in the shape of the spring and this worked perfectly. This then got stuck between the arm piece and the foam dowel that you can see here. I also 3D printed some different nails that got stuck on in various places around the crown, and also some longer bolts with nut caps that got stuck in the boxes at the back. Once those were all added, the build of the crown was complete and it was ready to start sealing before painting. Using my favourite sealer, which is black flexi paint from the incredible Tig Supplies, who I also get all of my foam from. This was then brushed on by hand and I used 3 layers. Once the flexi paint had fully dried, it was then time to start painting. Starting with this Vallejo red leather paint as a base, I just used different shades of browns and oranges and built up the tones until it gave a kind of rust effect. Because I made this in like 2 days before the Comic-Con I needed it for, I didn't really have time to add the real rust effect like on the other reverse bear trap, so it all had to just be paint this time. All of the parts that needed it then got painted silver. These also then got a black wash to make them look a bit more grimy. Hopefully here you can see the difference between the grimy one and the just plain silver. Once that had all fully dried, the painting of the crown was then complete. I actually really like how the paint turned out, I just wish I had a bit more time to make it look a bit more dirty. To protect the paintwork, I used this Plasticoat clear matte top coat spray, spraying it all over the crown in 2 thin layers. Once that had fully dried, the reverse bear trap crown was complete. I really enjoyed wearing this costume for HorrorCon. I got some really lovely comments, so if you were one of the people that came up to me on the day, I just want to thank you so much. If you are still watching this video, I want to give you a massive huge thank you. If you've liked it, if you could hit that thumbs up button, that would be incredible. And also, if you like crafting content like this and have not subscribed to my channel already, if you could do that now, I would appreciate it so much. So huge thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Time to give a shout out to my channel members, and I now have 3. The fact that you've chosen to give extra support to my channel means the absolute world, and it helps me keep doing what I do. Channel members get early access to my videos, which also means early access to any templates. So if this is something you would be interested in, just check out the membership tab on my channel. Huge massive thank you again to my channel members, and I'll see you in the next video.